What do you get when you combine brand new athletic facilities with a first-year head coach? Well, the athletic director of Gainesville High described it to me as the perfect storm. See how the Red Elephants are making history coming up in sports.
Arthur Smith, obviously, he likes his big backs, it seems, right? Tyler, CP, Caleb. Is there a difference between blocking for guys like that compared to guys you blocked for earlier in your career, like Devontae Freeman?
I don't know, Devontae was pretty good.
You can tell the relationship between Coach Battle and his players is a key to their early success. And to select few that Coach Battle deems as ballers, well, they get his signature seal of approval, or otherwise known as nice little signature on the side of the helmet. Those select few get to call him by his other name, Coach Blizzy.
Sunday, Victor.
Well, Miles, it comes down to this week, right? The Falcons against the Bucks. So right now the Falcons are in a three-way tie with the Raiders and the Panthers, all standing at 6-10. So the Falcons, in terms of draft-wise, can fall anywhere between the 6th pick and the 9th pick. Welcome back in. We just heard the fellas out in LA with their assessment of what could happen this offseason with free agency. But what will the Falcons do with that 8th pick in the draft? I'm rejoined here by Michael Jenkins to talk about it. And since we're going to have a draft chat, let's call it Chatty Birds, right? Presented to you by Wendy's. The year is 1991, and the Atlanta Falcons are in their first postseason in 9 years. Led by Coach Jerry Glanville, the rudest team in NFL history was set to play right here in the Superdome against their heated division rival, the New Orleans Saints. You see him working on the mound now for Dylan Lee and Zach Greinke, the two expected starters for Game 4 of the World Series here at Truist Park. It may be bright and sunny right now, but the Gainesville High football team was out here on the field before the sun had even risen, putting in the work that has earned them an undefeated season and a region championship, all with their sights set on a bigger goal.
I love it. I love the morning practice. You get out here, you get to see the sunrise before everybody's up, get the work in, and then go to school. So I love morning practices.
And they bring, well, a certain intensity.
Hey, outside! 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 Outside!
Good job, Jamil. That way.
You know, they're fresh, their minds are clear, clean. And then, you know, once they take in what we're doing now, we kind of get those endorphins going because we've been practicing and we're in good moods.
And it seemed to have worked because the Red Elephants claimed the region crown for the first time since 2015 and are one win away from the school's first undefeated regular season since 2009.
Man, I cried my eyes out when we won that game. I promise you. And I celebrated with my teammates, celebrated with my coaches. I've been here for 4 years and I ain't never had nothing like this. And I just everything I've dreamed of, honestly.
The dreaming hasn't stopped for Stacy, though, with playoff football on the horizon.
Everybody remember you won the region championship. But they will never forget you when you win a state championship. Never.
We've been talking about it since day one, so just got to get through this one, Jackson County, finish the regular season 10-0, and then get each one by one in the playoffs.
In Gainesville, Victor Prieto, Fox 5 Sports.
What people wear tells you a lot about them, and I think you're able to express yourself a lot more through art and forms of art.
Art takes many forms. Whether it be on the walls in museums or the lyrics in a song, it's notable. For Curtis Booth, his art comes alive on an unusual canvas, a cleat.
For one, it's not something everyone can do, and it's something that you can just get real creative with. You know, there's no limit to creativity at all. So I look at it like this: I tattoo shoes. You know, that's what I do. You know, I tattoo sneakers.
Graduating with a degree in forensic psychology, Curtis began painting shoes in 2013 out of boredom. The self-taught artist made his break customizing shoes for the likes of Justin Hardy, Julio Jones, Cordero Patterson, and many others.
Looks like a popsicle.
After leaving his day job to pursue art full-time, Curtis has become the official cleat designer of the Atlanta Falcons.
That was crazy for me because I had returned from a vacation and I made up my mind on the flight, literally like, man, if you're gonna do it, you gotta do it now, because I was always telling people I'm waiting on the perfect time, and it's really no perfect time. You really just gotta do it. And that's probably the best decision I ever made, you know, because I haven't missed a beat.
With the NFL's annual My Cause, My Cleats, Curtis was commissioned to paint all 42 shoes for this year's roster, giving each player an opportunity to showcase a charity or cause close to their hearts.
Yeah, I look at it like, man, this is like, you have to be a magician when it comes to this, you know? It's like magic for real.
Running back Cordero Patterson will wear cleats supporting pregnancy and infant loss awareness after him and his girlfriend experienced the loss of a baby 5 years ago.
This hit home for me and my family, because me and my girl, we dealt with this already, so it's a big part of our life, and every day go by, we think about stuff like this, so, just to put it on the cleats, and be in our heart, it's just awesome, man.
On Sunday, each player will be playing for their own cause. Matt Ryan will be repping the At Promise Center, while other players like Deron Harmon will play for Autism Speaks. Behind them all, though, is one person whose work has turned plain canvases into a work of art.
Yeah, man, it's a good feeling, knowing that I had something to do, maybe a small piece, a small part, but I had something to do with, them being able to go out in the field and showcase that,
For Fox 5 Sports, I'm Victor Prieto.
It's a totally different cleat. Yep.
The sound of a golf shot, like a euphonous harmony launched into the air. Birds chirp along the putting green, while drivers ring off the tee. These sweet sounds, like a putt falling, are so much more than noises resonating across a golf course. For these two golfers, it's their only way to play.
Yeah, I can't hit that any better. Good job, Pop-Pop.
Blind golf is an absolute sanctuary because when you're playing golf, whether you're sighted or unsighted, it's about you and hitting that golf ball. And the rest of the world goes away for that time. And for me, when I'm on the golf course playing, I actually forget I'm blind.
Chad Doc Naismith was diagnosed with a rare genetic disorder called retinitis pigmentosa at just 12 years old. A quarterback for his school team, he noticed something was wrong at an early age.
About 12 years old, 13 years old, I started taking hits in football that I should have seen coming. At night with friends, we'd be running out in the woods and playing, and I'd literally run into a tree that everybody else was dodging.
Forced to be sidelined from his football team and outcast from his peers, Doc lost his chance at a normal childhood.
Being blind is a permanent state of loss. When you're 17, 18, you can see, they told me about the width of a quarter. Just socially, for me, it was a miserable time until, my late 23, 24.
If you lose a sense, you have to reestablish who you are and your identity in this world. And so there's a loss. There's a big loss.
Without ever picking up a golf club in his 38 years of life, one day his wife Patty recommended he try out golf. He immediately fell in love.
It's just a peace haven for me, even when I play badly. I'll be a little disappointed, but it's still a good day because I'm trying to do something that's probably the most difficult sport I've ever played in my life. And before I lost my sight, I'd played them all, but I'd never played golf.
With a coach to guide him throughout the course and help him with every shot, Doc quickly found his way to the top. His first win was the United States National Championship. He'd win the same tournament 2 more times, but it was his second win that stands out.
After I went back-to-back, though, in 2017 and won my second national championship, the happiness lasted about a month, maybe less. And I asked my wife, I said, I just won the second time. But it's already gone. What's the deal? And she said, you're doing it for you. And she said, you're not doing it to better anyone else, and that's when I decided. I said, I wish somebody would have given, me a club at 13 and said, hey, I think you can play golf. You're not going to be able to play these other sports. Because it would have been, who knows? It could have been a game changer for me emotionally. But that's what we're trying to do now, is passing the message out there to folks that blind golf is something that can save your life.
Doc and his wife created a nonprofit called AVID, or A Vision in Darkness. Their goal? To introduce the game of golf to blind and visually impaired children. About 2 months ago, Doc received a call for a new student.
5 months took him to go from 20/20 vision to 2600 in 5 months.
13-year-old Malachi Johnson noticed in December he couldn't see the score during his basketball games. By February 2021, most of his sight was completely gone.
Just a couple months ago, I was playing basketball, and that was my favorite sport. And then now, she wanted me to do golf, and I had no idea how to play golf.
Without ever picking up a club, Malachi met with Doc at Brentwood Country Club and learned.
Outstanding, Malachi. That's an outstanding chip.
First, when I told him golf, he was like, I don't want to do golf. Who plays golf? But the first day out there, he fell in love with it.
I'll never forget the first time that he came out. When he came back home, he left looking one way, but when he came back home, he was looking like Tiger Woods.
The sound when you hit the ball makes you feel good, even though you can't see the ball.
Now almost 2 months in, Doc has provided Malachi with free golf lessons every week and a brand new set of fitted golf clubs. Despite not being able to see Malachi's shots, Doc coaches him off the sound.
You hit it in the center of the club face and you hit the ball first. Yeah. I don't care where it ended up, that was what you got to have on the golf course. You got to be committed every swing.
He's a cool guy. I like how funny he is. Yeah, it makes me feel like I can still do fun things even though I can't see as much. Like, he jumped off a diving board.
Okay. Let you hold.
If I die, tell my wife I loved her.
Doc has been amazing. Doc has been a very good blessing because he's helped Malachi open up his eyes and see just because you lost your sight doesn't mean anything. I'm blind, completely blind, more than my son, and he's the #1 top golfer.
Doc has been an answer to a prayer because this has made life so much better for Malachi.
So we're still expecting a miracle, but the miracle's already happening, I tell you. You know, we're just so grateful to have someone like Doc work with Malachi. We're willing to show him the ins and the outs, and you know, just really, he's almost like another family member now. Yeah.
Well, I believe that everybody's here for a reason. And we all have talents, and we all have special abilities. And for me, you know, when my day comes, you know, I just want people to look and say, you know, he did it. You know, he used what he had to give back, and that to me is just all anybody can do.
As for Malachi, who now has a new sport to play, now has a new goal to achieve as well.
Just to win a couple of tournaments, probably more than him.